Hey guys, it's time for Ant-Man issue number 1. It's really long waited issue. I have waited it for months. I was really excited, and right now today I'm really excited when I got this issue in my hands, and I have read it after within 1 hour, and I took a long time because I wanted to enjoy every pages. It's always because I have waited long time. That's why, and it should be worth it with my books. That's why I have taken a long time, and I read this issue. Right now I'm gonna read the reviews for you guys. Hope you guys will enjoy this one. Here we go with ComicVine.com reviews. This is by Tony G. Mann, and this is God. I've given a great 5 stars. Scott Lang is doing his best to make it as a hero and a father with the ability to control ants. Let's be honest, not many people can or would say Ant-Man is their favorite superhero. This is something the book realizes. Ant-Man may not be the coolest concept for a superhero, but Nick Spencer is going to make you care about the character. Marvel always excelled at the idea of flawed heroes, starting back in the 60s. Scott Lang barely has his act together. He's gone through some tough times despite trying to do his best. Luck just hasn't always been on his side. It's his traits that make him more of a human character. Being able to shrink down and control ants might not sound like the coolest thing, but seeing Lang in action, you start to realize there could be something to a series focusing on Ant-Man, and it's really exciting when the movie is coming on in coming July, and that's why before that one this story is gonna be hit. I hope it's hit in my way. It's really cool. Not much of cosmic or not much of adrenaline rush actions like other series issues, but it got a really nice story and ups and downs, and it also feels like a good TV series kind of thing, and the stories are like that. Scott Lang was a thief who first became Ant-Man after stealing Henry Pym's Ant-Man suit to save his daughter Casey from a heart condition. This is the history of the Scott Lang Ant-Man series. Reforming from his life of crime, he soon took on a full-time career as Ant-Man with encouragement of Hank Pym. He became an affiliate of the Fantastic Four. This is really a long future long story, so I'm not gonna do with this stories, but it would be revealing sometimes. I know that Spencer does an excellent job introducing Lang and his complex past to new readers without drawing things out for older ones. I was personally thrilled to see mention of his time with the Future Foundation. The idea of Lang trying to make ends meet by finding a job as well as try to get visitation rights to see his daughter Casey adds a different element to the regular superhero comic. Ramon Rosanas' art is a perfect fit. While Scott Lang has a deep history in comics, the art complements the tone of the story in creating the feeling of a new story and world. We see other familiar characters that reminds us of the bigger world Ant-Man is part of, but you can easily immerse yourself into the story and not worry about other titles. Readers of a certain other series should be especially happy to see one character that appears here. I also gonna read other reviews also about this one from the other websites. So comicbookresources.com have said this Ant-Man 1 hits the new comic book racks this week with plenty of buzz surrounding the character as the feature film debut of Stanley Larry Lieber and Jack Kirby's creation crawls ever nearer. Spencer packs this extra-sized issue tight with history and personality, giving readers everything they need to know about the characters regardless of their familiarity, beyond recognizing that Ant-Man and Spider-Man are both hyphenated heroes. The writer introduces readers to Scott, his former and future employer Tony Stark, his daughter Casey, and his ex-wife Peggy, before cluing readers into just how far down on his luck Lang truly is. By all regards, this Marvel is a loser, and Spencer doesn't let up on that fact. He also doesn't let Lang crumble around under the weight of his failures. But it's pretty while reading this one, it's pretty much cool because there is a good story on the back end. That's great. Spencer has proven himself to be a masterful writer of comedy in the superior force of Spider-Man. This review is given by comicbook.com, and they have really done a good, elaborate, and as a big review. A series that we at ComicBookcom love very, very much. They have said about the superior foes of Spider-Man. Okay, just read out. Taking Boomerang and his Miss Labelle Sinister Six, he showed a verve for both monologue and dialogue driven gags within his scripts, whether it was Fred Mears narrating his failures or the entire team taking verbal pot shots at one another. The series' words were always landing. Big loves. Ant-Man 1 is the comic that proved this success was anything but a fluke. While the back and forth between narration and reporting is similar, the style of the characters is vastly different. Both Ant-Man and Boomerang may be down on their luck, but that's where the similarities end. Immenseness has replaced deceit, and dedication has replaced laziness in a leading man that is truly heroic. Yet the comedy core remains consistent. There are plenty of loves to be found in Ant-Man 1. I don't find myself laughing out loud at most comics, but Spencer Anderson's work elicits loud goofies on a regular basis. There aren't one or two funny beats, but a steady stream of verbal jokes, side gags, and other critics as the issue proceeds. The opening sequence in which Scott Lang is shown interviewing for a job contains plenty of jokes that work on multiple levels. An explanation about the printing process at Kinko's alongside a double-sided resume will leave readers recently familiar with job searching both sympathetic and laughing loudly, yet Lang's mistakes here don't even come close to reaching the hilarity of a pair of boxers discovered later in this issue. That's a really hot kind of scene, and that's really cool thing. All of those jokes are tied into Lang's job search, struggling through interviews about highly qualified applicants. It's the sort of premise that sounds mundane if you forget that this all occurs in the Marvel Universe, where interviews are done in costume and the other applicants have superpowers. As entertaining as this all is, it also serves it to provide a great deal of insight into the character of Scott Lang. The process of selecting an appropriate career not only helps to detail Ant-Man's skill and personality, but also what drives him to succeed. It is the perfect introductory challenge. The clever use of a resume alone serves to naturally raise questions about a complicated continuity involving time spent as a thief. That's the thing. So every comics has some bad things and good things also. And so I'm gonna read bad things from ComicVine.com. They have given one of the fears I had going into this series was aspects of Scott Lang would be tweaked to accommodate the upcoming movie. Despite the brief recap on his life, there could be some confusion at the appearance of Cassie, who was dead, and her seeming younger than she was before. Her resurrection happened recently in the pages of Avengers World 16. There are some changes to Cassie due to her return. Hopefully this will be addressed more, but likely makes her fate what her movie counterpart may be like. It's also a little strange that Scott was seen as still in a relationship with Dollar during in that issue of Avengers World, but there's no mention of here despite the changes Scott makes in his life. The verdict about this issue: get ready to be able to say you are now an Ant-Man fan. Nick Spencer is taking the off and down on his luck Scott Lang and showing us what he is willing to do be Ant-Man, as well as a further. I have just completed seeing the new trailer of the Ant-Man, and that is pretty cool. What I was seeing, it's really great. Hope you guys will enjoy that one too. So Ramon Rosanas is great at depicting both the human moments as well as the action sequences involving a guy that can shrink down and communicate with ants. You'll be pleasantly surprised by how much you'll enjoy this book. Scott Lang is one of my favorite Marvel superheroes. His role in Matt Fraction and Michael Red Fantastic Four is one of my favorite in the past decade of superhero comics. This is given by ComicBookcom. The writer says he's about as far from an A-list superhero as he can get though. Much of the beauty of Ant-Man issue 1 lies in its ability to both introduce and make you care for a character whom many readers may not have been aware of before the announcement of the Marvel Studios film. Even better, it's all done on the guise of a top-notch comedy, comparing style and tone to the superior force of Spider-Man. It's quite a difference. It's a very high bar for Ramon Rosanas. Spencer's collaboration with Steve Lieber on the title created some of the most inventive panel constructions and storytelling devices in superhero comics this decade, yet Rosanas does not disappoint. His transitions between and within sequences are crystal clear. There is never lack of clarity as to what is occurring or why two panels are set together. Sometimes it depends on the storyteller, and sometimes it depends how it's getting done by the reader. And the brief glimpses of this style appear in several sequences early in the issue. Ant-Man tumbles through a series of lasers using ants for support between his maneuvering and the text placement by letterer Travis Landman. It's it's an exciting display of acrobatics that dizzies the eye. Rosanas seems to be at his best when Lang is at his smallest. His displays of shrunken bravado are great, but so are the quieter moments. This is the quieter moments Lang is depicted at smaller stature when he's feeling small, and these moments land with surprising resonance. Jordan Boyd enhances Rosanas' work with a palette that complements the line work very well. So hope you guys have enjoyed it, and if you want to enjoy this book in full form and full adrenaline, just go to the store and buy this book. Support the creators. This will make the creators doing a more inventive and more good comics. That will be great. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Don't forget to leave the like button.